Okay, we're going to give it a minute or so to let people get in. All right, I think we should get started now. Good afternoon. Thank you for attending our second day of the Arts in the Libraries Virtual Festival. Today's session is a virtual zine workshop hosted by Gay Acompanado, Art Library Supervisor for the Elise N. Hofheimer Art Library at Old Dominion University Libraries. Take it away, Gay.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, everyone. I am thrilled to finally be able to host a zine workshop for the Arts in the Libraries Festival. Give me a moment to share my screen. All right. Okay. Can everybody see the screen? Hopefully I get a confirmation. All good? All right. Great. So let's get started. So like I said, I am thrilled to finally host a zine workshop for the Arts in the Libraries Festival. Laura Canner and I originally planned this as an in-person workshop, but as you all know, the pandemic has been unpredictable. So we decided for this year to try and adapt this as a virtual event instead, when we were planning this in December and January. So as mentioned in the description for this session, this is one of the reasons or the catalysts for how the arts in the libraries began, with a simple, curious question about zines to my colleague and lead organizer of Arts in the Libraries, Laura Canner, and she's also the curator of music special collections. So, all right, so here's the roadmap for today. I will have a brief introduction to zines. And then I'll show you some available zines at ODU, particularly at the Hofheimer Art Library. And then you'll get to make your own zine. Full disclosure here, I am not an expert zine maker. I've only made a few, but I will show you one way on how to make a zine today for this workshop. So what are zines? The word zine is short for fanzine and magazine. Zines are self-published, unique works of art, works of interest or passion produced in small circulations or editions. A lot of zines are typically done in editions of less than 1,000. Some can go up to 5,000 copies, but a lot of zines are usually produced in smaller editions, typically less than 1,000. So zine publications often include original or appropriated texts and images reproduced using a photocopier. So back when there were Xerox machines, that was often used. And now we have scanners. So a lot of times people will scan images or texts and things like that to use and incorporate in zines. So with zines, profit is not the primary intent or motivation. It's usually a labor of love. And most of the time it is to disseminate information or whatever your passion lies. So the emergence of zines began in the 1930s. As early as 1930s, fanzines emerged among science fiction fans. In May 1930, the first of what would later become known in the fan world as a fanzine was published. You can see the image of the comet on your screen. It was produced in Chicago by Raymond Arthur Palmer and the Science Correspondence Club. So this is one of the earliest fanzine that was produced in the 30s, in 1930. Just a brief history of zines. In the 1960s, zines had roots in underground and informal publications focused on social and political activism. So zines really have deep roots with activism in particular, with marginalized groups. So zines are often used as a vehicle for marginalized groups in terms of protest and to show other perspectives other than the mainstream. So counterculture and so forth. By the 1970s, zines were popular in the punk rock circuit. And by the 1990s, the feminist punk scene propelled the medium, and it included artists such as Kathleen Hanna, if you've heard of Riot Girl Zine, that was produced out of Olympia, Washington. If you're into the punk scene in the 90s, you would have come across a lot of the feminist punk zines. So there are all sorts of types, various types of zines. There are art and photography zines, comic zines, literary zines, social and political zines, music zines, perzines or personal zines, travel zines, health zines, food zines. The list goes on and on. So it can be anything, and anyone can create zines or have the opportunity to create zines. So zines at ODU libraries. So as I mentioned earlier, this started out as a curious question with Laura. I asked Laura after a meeting, I believe it was a staff development meeting we've had at Perry Library. I asked her, hey, Laura, do we have zines in special collections? At the time, she told me, let me ask Steve, who is our university archivist, and to see if we have any zines in special collections. And that was something I was curious about, because I did find something in the art library, and just to see what else we have at ODU libraries in terms of zines. So she did get back to me. She said we didn't quite have any, but it started the ball rolling in the discussion about arts in the libraries and making it and planning for this festival. So I will now show you some zines that are available at ODU. So right now, in the Hofheimer Art Library, if you would like to visit, we have a zine on display. And this is a collaborative zine between Kelly Morse's Intro to Literature course and Brendan Baylor's Print 1 course. The literature students in Kelly's class each wrote a piece in the style of Jamaica Kincaid's short story Girl. And the print students in Brendan's class each made a unique screen printed cover responding to the text that the literature students submitted. So this was totally collaborative between two classes, and this was recently produced last fall, 2021, during the ODU's first themester, which had a focus on arts and social justice. So if you do have a chance, do come by the art library. We're on the second floor of the Berry Arts building, and take a look at this zine. You can take them off the display, the shelf, and you can sit at one of our tables and look through and read through. And the screen prints are amazing. So I invite you to come by or stop by if you do have a chance. The next one that we do have is the Hofheimer Art Library zine. And I've included the link to the links to both versions. So the first one that we came up with, we released it in fall 2017. And this was something that we produced in-house. And I couldn't do this by myself. I was able to get my student assistants involved in this effort. So the first one was designed by Allie Hilton, and I provided the content for the 2017 version. And the most recent one that we released is the 2021 version that the updated version, which is on the right, with a slightly different cover of Elise Hofheimer. So both scenes feature Elise Hofheimer, whom the art library is named after. And I can stop sharing and open the link to it. So give me a second. All right. All right, hopefully you can all see this. So this is our most recent version of the Hofheimer art zine. We've uploaded the digital version through Izu, but we always have a print version that is available for our students and patrons. So the reason that we created this zine, and this is just made out of one sheet of legal size paper, and designed to accommodate one sheet of paper. We just wanted to produce something that was in-house and easy to put together, and a pocket guide for students, and something that students can pick up. And I do some library instruction sessions, and I feel like if they didn't take anything away from my library instructions, this is something that they can refer to and go back to for some of the one-shot sessions that I do teach here in the art department. So this covers pretty much just the resources that we have. There's a welcome and a short history of the Hofheimer Art Library and all the wonderful resources. And what's great about this is that these are all clickable links. So people, our patrons or students, can refer to this at any given time. It has links to our databases and so forth. So it's really very accessible for anybody. So this was done in-house. So my contact information is in the back too. So if they need any help with research, they can contact me. So I'm gonna stop share for a second and switch gears. All right, so let me get back to my presentation. All right. Okay. Oh, I guess it started back up again. All right, so, and this is the actual reason that how the Arts in the Libraries Festival began. This zine, which is called Thermos Magazine. This is the one that I've shared with Laura, and the reason why I asked her the question if we had any zines anywhere else at ODU libraries. So Thermos Magazine, we have about 18 issues of it. So Thermos Magazine was a short-run participatory art publication with a unique approach, and was published and distributed by ODU's art department from 1982 to 1985. The publication received submissions and participation from local artists and participants throughout the US and internationally. Like I said, there were 18 issues in total, with 6 issues per volume. There are about 3 volumes total. So ODU's Hofheimer Art Library has about 17 out of 18 issues, with volume 3, number 4 missing. That's the only thing that we're missing in this collection. And this is just usually stapled, or sometimes in an envelope, but a lot of it is stapled. Volume 1 has been sent to the bindery, so I've been trying to get this unbound. That's something in the future that I'm planning to do. I do have currently within the Arts in the Libraries Festival website, there is a digital exhibit, virtual exhibit about Thermos Magazine. So if you do have some time, please take a look at that and browse through it. I have each of the covers featured on the virtual exhibit if you want to go in depth and check out what each cover looks like. So. Oh, thank you, Laura. Thanks for posting it. Appreciate it. Okay. So, and this is the third part, why you're here. Time to make some zines. So like I said earlier, I am only showing you one way on how to make a zine structure. And you can, with one sheet of paper. So here's what you may need. So for some of you who signed up, some folks have picked up our take-home zine kits or bags. For those of you who were not able to pick up some, we still have some in the Hofheimer Art Library. You are welcome to stop by. But if you are out there and you weren't able to pick up one, here's some items you may need around you. You need a sheet of paper. It could be a white sheet of copy paper, something lightweight. It could be construction paper, a pair of scissors. Let me get, so it could be a small pair of scissors, some pens, pencils, or markers. So let me show you some of the things that we put in the zine kits. Glue stick is very handy. And any random paper or item that you can use. It could be candy wrapper, it could be anything. It's really up to you what you want to incorporate in the zine. So how to make an instant zine with one sheet of paper. So last week, I was trying to figure out, okay, it's been a while since I've made a zine. So I decided just to collage, cut and paste. And I said, I'm gonna make an instructional zine on how to make an instant zine with one sheet of paper. So it took me about an hour and a half to put together the first iteration of this. So here's a link to the let me go back. Here's a link to the this instructional zine that we uploaded on Isu. So let me see if I could, Lara, would you be able to share this on the chat? I'm gonna stop sharing for a second and switch gears. Oops. Okay. And all right, can everybody see this bigger version?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna post the link, or if Laura can in a little bit. So here's how to make. So hold up your white sheet of paper, if you can. How to make an instant zine with one sheet of paper. So fold the paper lengthwise. I'm going to do it with you all. You can follow. And so I'm folding this lengthwise. And you can kind of use your fingers to just smooth it out, so edge to edge. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay. Zines are not meant to be perfect and laid out perfectly. It allows for mistakes. So, and then go ahead, fold, and then open. So you did it lengthwise, right? And now fold the paper horizontally. So do it the other way, like this. Hopefully you all can see what I'm doing. All right, so this is how it should look. And then to the next steps, fold the two open ends to the middle. So turn it this way, like that, and then fold the two open ends towards the middle fold. And then do it on the other side too, to the middle, front and back, and then open the folds. Okay. So let me finish. How's everyone doing? Okay, so you should end up with like a W, or yay, I see Sue Kimmel with it. Great. So you should end up with a W, or if you turn it the other way around, an M. Perfect. And now you open it. So you take it like this. And what you're going to do is on the dotted line where for step 4, using a pair of scissors, cut along the center shown with the dotted lines from the middle to fold to create, oh, I think to create a slit. I think it when we scanned it, so what I'm doing is cutting the middle fold just as, so you're going to end up with this. So you have a slit in the middle, essentially. So, all right, sorry. I will, so I think it cropped the last word there. So you should have something that looks like this, right? Great. All right, so the next one, ooh, it's taking a bit of time to load. Okay, I'm going to show you up close. I have a copy here. So what you're going to do next is turn it this way while we're waiting, and grasping or holding both sides of the middle from the slit, pull apart and then pull down. So from like this, pull it down. Okay. And then step 6, fold into a book form. So you can fold it however, whichever you want as a front or cover. And then now you now have a zine to fill with whatever content you want in it. Have fun. So you now have a instant zine or an instant book. You can fill this with doodles. You can have a list of grocery list. I have used this for grocery list, or when I'm traveling and I don't have a big notebook, I make an instant one and just, making notes and things, observations. You can use this for a mini comic zine. So it could be whatever you want. It could be to write down poetry for a good week. So it really is up to you on what you can use to fill this with. So, oh no, I'm so sorry. Technology is not. Let me stop sharing for a second. I think hopefully it will come back. I'm gonna refresh it a little bit and see if I can share it again. But let's see. But how's everyone doing? Was everyone able to follow and have their own starter zine? Okay, let me see. There it is. So, and that's pretty much it. So that's all you need. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments on our digital version of the how to make an instant zine. So, yep. So I'm gonna stop sharing that. And now you can all go ahead and start using pen or paper, or if you want a collage onto your starter zine. You can write, draw, cut out some images. If you have anything around you, feel free to create whatever you want. So we have about, I'd say maybe we'll give it a good 10 minutes or so. I don't expect everyone to finish this today. So like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It could be your first iteration. It doesn't have to be glued or laid out perfectly. It could be a draft for something. So yeah. At this time, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask your questions on the chat if you'd like, or if there's anything that you got hung up on while making the instant zine, please go ahead and ask away. Let me see. There is.
Yeah, okay, I see one question in the chat.
Sure.
It says that, will the presentation be available to view, download after this? Yes,
Yes.
I can answer that. Yes, it will be available. It just may not be available right away. It might take a few days to get up on the website, but it will be on the Arts and Libraries virtual festival website for you to find and view again.
Okay.
And here is that information.
Thank you. Thank you for that question. Here's also the link to the issue. I've been using issue as kind of the platform for, I have the free version, so I don't post a lot of, zines on there. We're using the free version for that. So this is the link to the how to make an instant zine. I may have to adjust our PDF on there. So does anyone want to share in the chat what you would like, what content you'd like to put in your starter zine? Any ideas? Miriam said she made a to-do list on the neon paper. You can't miss that. It's a great motivator. Oh, composers of the Dean Composers Room. That would be a great list. Would it fit with the, how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Not including, I guess not including the front and the back cover, you'll have about 6, right? About 6 composers, right, Laura? Ooh, and Kathleen says, mine is an ode to pit bulls. Awesome. It could be a collage of pit bulls. You can use magazines, old magazines, newspapers. Lately, I've, for Dr. Khaleesi's senior show class, I did a small version, a small zine workshop with his class, and I had them use some of the book covers that we take off when we reshelve the books after they've been on display in our new titles section. when we shelve them into the stacks, we take out the book jackets or the book covers. So we sometimes have a box of book jackets and book covers in the art library, and oftentimes art students will use them for all sorts of projects. It could be for collage, it could be for anything really. And I sometimes save the book jackets that are really cool and have really nice art and use that as decoration in my office. But for Dr. Galazi's senior show class, I had them use some of the book covers to incorporate them into the zine workshop I did with his class, and where each of them did a half-page zine, and at the end of it, I collected all of the zines that they've submitted to me and put together into in the spirit of Thermos. We put together what they called sippy cup zine, and it's literally just folded, printed pieces of copy paper, and I put together the all of the submissions and into pages and then stapled them together. So that's one way you can do it. It could just be stapled. It could be sewn together. It's really up to you. So what I showed you is just one version on making a mini zine out of a sheet of paper. So, all right. Let me just do my last, let's see. Has it been about close to 10 minutes? Just about?
Yes, just about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let me go ahead and finish up. It is 12:47 on my time, and let me share my screen one last time. And
Yeah, I know he did.
speaker. Oh, have to move through the presentation again. Apologize for that. Oh. Oh no. I think I clicked too much. So. All right, for those of you who missed the first part, you're seeing some of the introductory portion of this. And so for anyone who may have any burning questions, any last questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. But other than that, if no one else has any questions, I would like to see what you all come up with. If you would like to, you can share or send me a copy of your finished zine. It could be just your first iteration, or your a second iteration or third. Scan it. If you'd like to send it as an email attachment, there's my email, or you can also drop by the art library, send it via snail, post mail. And that's the address to where I am here at the Hofheimer Art Library. So if you'd like to do that, whichever, I would love to see, and in the spirit of Thermos, I would love to put together just one based off of this workshop. So just, yeah. So thank you all for joining me in this workshop. I hope you all enjoyed it, and hopefully you now know how to start and create a zine of your own. Please check out, I know Laura already shared the link to the Arts in the Libraries virtual festival website. Please check it out. We've got some more presentations, virtual tours, innovative performances, digital and or virtual exhibits, and we do have some physical exhibits that you can visit if you are in the ODU Norfolk campus. So please stop by the Perry Library Gallery to see photos by Marge Clearwater. Her collection of photos documenting the LGBTQIA+ community in the Hampton Roads area. Did I say all of that correctly? Or did I miss? Laura, feel free if I missed anything. That is curated by Kathleen Rhodes. So please stop by there if you have a chance. And we also have some student art on exhibit at the Hofheimer Art Library as well. So with that, please join us again at 3 p.m. later in a few hours for Brittany Harris's presentation. Here is out, Methods of Theater Performance as Activism. Thank you.